You're jacked in to the franchise, or more specifically, Buffy's Angels, an offshoot of the franchise here on the Patreon. I'm the expert here. I've watched all these a million times. The Daniel Ehrenberg train, and over there is Logan B. Adair, the newbie.
You can just call me B this week.
Yo, I like that. All right. This week we're covering 2 more episodes of season 3 of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Episode 3, Faith, Hope, and Trick, featuring the first appearances of Faith, Hope, and Trick. And also Beauty and the Beasts, featuring the first and last appearances of Pete and Debbie. All right.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
About the titling of the episodes. How do you know when to use, what's that called, an ampersand? Is that what that thing's called?
Yeah.
How do you know when to use that little thing? Because they do in War for One and, but then the next episode there's an and. They decide not to use it.
TBH, I just remember it. But you're asking why do they do it?
Yeah. What's the reasoning for it?
I think if it's like 3 words together, you use the ampersand, right? But then if it's like just a title, like you're referencing Beauty and the Beast, so you use the and.
Okay. Is Fast and Furious F ampersand Furious?
No.
It's
got an and in it, I believe. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. All right. Sorry. Keep going.
That's okay. Well, let's start with Faith, Hope, and Trick, eh?
Yeah.
This episode aired October 13th, 1998. The number 1 song in the country. Yeah, it's been, that's right, 1 week by Bare Naked Ladies. All right? I had that album. It's the only Bare Naked Ladies album I ever bought.
That was the outro last week, so let's try to find something different this week.
I'm sure we can nail it. Don't even worry about it. The number 1 movie in America, Logan, still Ants.
Yeah.
Ants with a Z, by our good friends at DreamWorks and Woody Allen. By the way, I recently heard a Woody Allen, like a recording of a phone conversation between him and Mia Farrow around the time that Dylan accused him of molesting her. And I'm now completely convinced that happened.
Yeah, it took you until that.
No, I always figured something weird happened, but now I think he just straight up molested her.
Yeah, this was a recent new voice thing that came out?
I don't know that it's new, but I heard it for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm glad.
All right, just letting you know. All right, the big movie release this week was debuted at a disappointing number 5, Logan, and that was Holy Man with Eddie Murphy and Jeff Goldblum.
All right.
In which he plays sort of a spiritual figure who starts to work for a home shopping network. I've seen it more than once for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Not a lot went on this week. You know what was going on in the world of wrestling, though, I'll tell you. Over on... this really shows you how bad WCW had gotten and how good WWF had gotten. Because over in WWF, Vince McMahon drives his Corvette to the arena, okay? Nothing wrong with that. He's a rich man. He's got a Corvette.
Yeah.
But Stone Cold Steve Austin, who loves commandeering vehicles, as you know,
right,
commandeers a cement truck and dumps cement into Vince's Corvette.
Love it.
All right. Vince responds by bringing back the Big Boss Man.
Yeah, and unleashing him on him.
Yeah, so very great stuff going on there.
Yeah, I like that.
Meanwhile, over at WCW, Rick Steiner, the second best Steiner brother, is in a feud with the doll Chucky as cross promotion for Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, that's coming out next week. That's awesome.
Rick Steiner goes, "Hey, you're a loser, Chucky." And Chucky goes, "Oh, I'm the loser? I'm having sex scenes with Jennifer Tilly." And
That really happened?
yeah, that really happened. And then Rick Steiner looked like a real dum-dum.
Yeah, that's funny.
All right. All right, let's just get into the episode now. The writer of this episode,
Do you
David.
care about the MLB American League Championship at all?
Well, I know that the Yankees beat the Indians.
All right. Well, all right.
Did that happen this week?
Yeah.
All right.
Happened.
Very good. Very good. They're about to go on and destroy the Padres in the World Series. Great stuff there. Yep. David Greenwalt, he wrote this episode. It's his first episode of season 3. When was the last time we saw him?
I'm not sure, but he has one episode left, and that's next week.
Is that right?
Homecoming, and then he's done.
Well, then he focuses on Angel.
Right.
He's big Angel guy.
Yeah, he's like number 1 Angel guy, right?
Well, yeah,
He's the one that made Angel, the episode Angel.
Yes, he co-created the show Angel with Joss Whedon, and was the showrunner of Angel for the first, I want to say, 3 seasons.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, I'm just checking to see what his last episode was. It was
Ted.
No, his last episode overall was Homecoming, but
sorry.
The last one he wrote for us, for our purposes, was Ted, which he co-wrote with Joss. And the director of this episode is James A. Conchner, directing his second of 20 Buffy episodes. The first was Bewitched, Bothered, and Bewildered.
Love that one.
Yeah, and I love this one too.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into
a lot of like fun just revelations in this one, just like learning about things.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is a very important episode for the Buffy mythology.
Yeah, a lot of interesting fun facts we learn.
Yeah. Well, let's get into it, L-Dog.
It's B. It's just B this week.
Right, just B. Just screw with them notes, B.
All right, I'll do that. So, basically, Buffy's not at school still, right?
That's right.
She still has to talk to those guys and get back in school, but she's throwing a little picnic. And so Cordelia, Xander, and Oz and Willow do the little thing where they uncouple. They're like, don't be happy around Buffy. She's all just depressed, right?
And they're able to attend the picnic because now seniors can go off campus for lunch.
Right. That was pretty fun to learn. So I'm sure we'll get a lot of hijinks.
Were you able to do that?
Yeah, sure.
I was from the very beginning. 7th grade, they let us go out for lunch. So I don't know what these people are so excited about.
What do? You just walk around New York?
No, I'll tell you what. There was our school was at the end of a long road, Jericho Street or something like that, and Jericho Turnpike
Place,
something
Jericho
like that.
Place.
I don't remember. But
the walls of Jericho.
The walls of Jericho. But at the end of that, there was a strip of 5 places. One was a bar. We were always like, someday we'll go drink in that bar. Eventually we did. It was a terrible bar. Then there was a deli where I used to get pizza bagels. There was a pizza place where I'd get pizza, not bagels. Mm. There was a Chinese restaurant where I became friends with the proprietor, Lee, and he would sometimes let me try things before they were on the menu. That was fun. And there was a bagel place. All right, so you'd go to one of those places. A lot of people would like buy something somewhere and then go eat with their friends at a different location. And they were just like, well, it's lunchtime at that school. I guess we got to just let this happen.
So you had a place for pizza and then a place for bagels and then a place for pizza bagels?
That's correct.
Wow. So those were your options for lunch, basically.
Or
the Chinese restaurant.
Or the Chinese restaurant. That's right. The Jade Palace Chinese
Maybe popcorn
restaurant.
at the local movie theater. You can go get snacks there.
No, I wasn't close enough.
No.
Well, eventually, like in senior year, people start getting their licenses and stuff. So I remember we did a few times drive over to the mall and eat at the food court. All right. Yeah. So I would go there on a Tuesday. I'd ask my friends to drive me. We'll go eat in the food court, and I'll buy the new Stone Temple Pilots album at Sam Goody or something.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it was very exciting. All right, go on.
All right, so Willow at one point says, "Hey, I'm walking here."
I
So I wanted
did
to bring
notice
that up.
that. Yeah, that's that's relevant to us.
Yes, of course. And then what happens? So Buffy says she's gonna talk to Snyder tomorrow. They bring up Scott Hope. Scott Hope's like this cute guy that but Buffy's not really wanting to move on. I guess I don't know. She's just down in the dumps still.
Yeah.
And Willow says something. She's like, she tells Buffy to do the thing with her mouth that guys like.
Yeah, and she thinks she means blowjobs, but she doesn't. It's like a half smile thing that she does.
Yeah, I actually like Xander. Xander was like, I see that half smile, you little slut. That
Yeah, I
Xander.
love Xander calling Buffy a slut.
You know who's sort of weak in these 2 episodes? Cordelia.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, you didn't think so?
I like her getting jealous of Faith in this one and saying that she's gonna dress up like a Slayer and hold a stake to Xander's
Yeah,
neck.
she's definitely better in this episode than the next episode, but she's sort of just around to be like, to sort of explain things. Like next episode, she's like, so what happened? I wasn't around. And then they sort
Right.
of re-explain the episode. And then this episode, she's sort of like, yeah, she does that stuff, but then she's like, so basically when Buffy died, Kendra came, and then Kendra died, and then
Right.
she sort of just explains
Right, she
stuff in
goes,
these
I
episodes.
figured it out. Let me deliver some exposition.
Yeah, she's not. This isn't the best Cordelia we've
Yeah,
seen.
that's
I'll
fair.
say that. I'll say that. But I still love her, obviously. So there's Scott Hope. You like Scott Hope?
He's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. I didn't think he was too bad. So you think he's better than Owen?
Yes.
Really? All right. So the drive-through. We go to the drive-through. We meet Trick, and is this Kakistos?
Yeah, we don't see him here, but we hear him. Kakistos. He's in the back of a limo with Mr. Trick, and they're in the drive-through of Happy Burger, which annoyed me because there's another fast food burger place that's later established as the main burger place in town.
Oh, interesting. We also get another donut shop that's not like we brought up at one point that they went to Krispy Kreme. That was like a big product placement.
Yeah.
And then later they go to just a random donut shop
Called
which I thought was
Mr.
interesting.
Donut. And did you notice that the box was just a Dunkin' Donut box where they
No.
just put the word Mr. on it?
No, I did not notice that.
Yeah.
That's wild. So do you like? I mean, I guess we'll get into Trick. Never mind. So we'll get into them. So Buffy, Yes, she has like a dream about Angel at the bronze, and then there's like whose ring is it? His ring or her ring falls off? Somebody's ring falls off.
Yeah.
And then like there's like a zombie angel. Is that right?
Yeah. And there's a Third Eye Blind song in that scene.
Okay. I didn't notice that. Which song is it?
Not a famous one.
Okay. And then so that's basically all the dreams. I think we get a few different dreams here in this episode. So Snyder, basically Buffy, she has to take a bunch of different tests to get back in school. She has to take tests. She has to do like a psych evaluation, a bunch of different things to get back in school. But there's actually a funny moment where Buffy's like, no, they're just making you do that. You have no power. You're lame. They just told you that you have to let me in. And then the mayor calls them. We're sort of leading to a bunch of stuff with the mayor, right?
It's the mayor on line 1. We'll finally meet the mayor next week.
Yeah, we've been leading, especially the last few episodes. So I think Mom's in that scene, right?
Yeah,
Probably.
she says na 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 to Snyder.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Acathla, Giles is obsessed with Acathla still.
Well, it turns out to be a ruse.
Yeah, in what way?
Well, he says that he's doing a binding spell on Acathla, but really all he's trying to do is get more information from Buffy about what happened. Because then at the end of the episode, Willow's like begging him to help with that binding spell because she's obsessed with magic right now. And
so he didn't actually need the information. He just wanted her to talk about it.
Yeah, Giles was like, "There is no binding spell."
Damn, that's harsh. So
this was a trick, a Mr. Trick.
So we go to the bronze, and Oz and Willow are going at it hard on the couch. Did you see that?
I don't know that I did.
Oh, they're going hard at it.
Wow.
And so this is where we see Faith.
Yeah. We first see her before we pan over to them. She's dancing on the dance floor with a 70s guy. And the band at the Bronze, Logan,
Yeah.
is Darling Violetta. And they're notable to us because they go on to write the theme song to Angel.
Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Did you like this song? I didn't really notice it too much.
It was kind of meh. But
Yeah.
Scott Hope and Buffy both say they like it.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Is this where he asks her to go to the Buster Keaton thing, or is that?
No,
later?
that's later. This time he's asking her to dance. Scott Hope's like, I really like this song, don't you? And Buffy's like, actually, I do.
Yeah. Oh, because she leaves and he's like, "Oh, you're coming to dance," and she's like, "No, I'm actually following that lady." out of
Sorry,
here."
I gotta kill a vampire.
Yeah, and so she follows because she thinks the guy might be bad, right? But then it turns out she is a vampire slayer. She can take care of herself.
Yeah, well, this is a callback to the first episode of Buffy, Welcome to the Hellmouth, where they establish that sometimes vampires still like dress the way they used to. Like in their day. So
yeah, I
this
remember
is
that.
a guy-
She knew one was a vampire because it had different clothes on.
Right,
once.
right. So this dude must have been like a vampire, like he must have been turned at a disco somewhere. And now
Right.
he still acts like that.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So here we learn a lot about Faith, right? There's like she tells a story about she was naked, and Xander's like, "Oh, you were naked once."
I want to
And,
say shout out to friend and listener Josh for he had his theory about there should be another Slayer called after Kendra. And
he hasn't seen this show before? I thought
No,
maybe
no.
he has seen this show before.
No.
And he was
He's watching
leaving that
everything
as
for the
a-
first time, man.
Oh, that's great. Great call.
Yeah.
Great job. Yeah, and I thought this was really funny. We learned Faith is like, "Man, slaying sure does make you hungry and horny," and everyone looks at Buffy like, "What? We didn't know that." She's like, well, yeah, sometimes I get a little bit hungry."
She goes, sometimes I crave a non-fat yogurt.
Yeah, so that was interesting too.
Yeah.
And I really liked that touch. And so this is where Cordelia explains the whole thing about. We get a mention of the three. Remember the three? That was fun.
Did you remember the three?
Yeah, right. That's the Kendra episode.
No.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what you think it is because there's three of them.
Oh shit.
But
Who's
that
the
was the Order of Taraka. David Greenwald is throwing in a reference to one of his episodes, Angel from season 1. The three was like a crew of vampires that was going after them in that episode. But I think it's insane that Buffy would claim that that's her toughest kill. A, Angel killed half of them, and B, like they weren't that big a threat. Like the Order of Taraka, that's why you thought of them, because they actually were a threat.
Yeah, it is what I thought. Were there not three of them?
There were three, yeah.
Yeah.
There was Bug Guy, Cop Lady, and dude who got his neck his neck slit by a skate.
Yes. Right. That
Yeah.
was great. That's when Angel stood her up.
He didn't stand her up. She was there early.
Oh, right. She was there early. And then Oz is like, "Do you kill werewolves?"
Yeah, right.
Why does he ask that? Does he not know that Buffy doesn't kill werewolves?
Well, I think probably Slayers are supposed to kill all
He should
demons.
just say, "Hey, by the way, I'm a werewolf," not "Do you kill werewolves?"
Well, he just says, "What's your take on werewolves?"
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
So we learned something here about a Watcher retreat, and I have something to say. If we don't get an episode where Giles is at the Watcher retreat, they really messed up.
There, we
That'd be a great episode.
we definitely get to see the Watchers Council on a number of occasions. But I always thought this was kind of insane that like there's a Watchers retreat and the one dude they're not inviting is the actual Watcher of the actual Slayer.
How many other Slayers are there?
There's no other Slayers.
Yeah, so how many other Watchers are there then?
They're like Watchers that are like part of this organization. But to me, the number one celebrity in that organization should be the Watcher of the Slayer.
Yeah, that doesn't even make sense to me,
Yeah.
to be honest. Yeah, I don't really understand. So Buffy leaves. She has to go take a test, and what happens? They show Faith around, and Faith like hits on Scott.
Yeah.
She kind of likes him.
Yeah, Faith gets to meet Giles, and then she meets.
She sort of hits on Giles too.
I know,
right?
Faith is fucking out there, dude. I love.
She really is.
Eliza Dushku. She, what have you known her from?
Really, just bring it on, I guess.
She's a real Joss Whedon favorite. Faith is a very important Buffy character, and then he would later create the show Dollhouse specifically for her. It got canceled after 2 episodes, but it was pretty good.
You think anything like weird with Eliza Dushku?
I've wondered.
Yeah, you have to. All right, so B and Faith, they go to dinner with Mom.
Yes, yeah, at home.
Right.
Mom
Buffy invites
dinner.
her to dinner. Yes, and this is where Mom. I guess Mom didn't know that Buffy died originally.
Yeah.
This is where she learns that, and she takes it all right, I guess. Right.
I think she's sort of forcing herself to take everything all right at this point because she's terrified Buffy's gonna leave town again.
I did like that one moment actually where Faith is like, "Wow, you've got a really cool mom," and Buffy's like, "Yeah, she's the best." And it's just like, yeah, I thought that was a really good line. That was a good touch there. And especially because all these weeks, like even Tim came on and was talking about how bad of a mom she was. So they fight vampires, right? They go for a walk and fight vampires. I wrote sick rack focus, so I guess there's a cool rack focus there.
What is rack focus?
It's like when if there's something in the foreground and something in the background, and it's focused on the background, and then it focuses on the foreground, and then focuses back on the back. Well, I guess it doesn't have to focus back, but it shifts focus on what it's. So I guess they do that with.
It's like when they show Locke moving his toe in Lost. Hey, we finished Lost last night, so
wow.
We'll talk about it on. Hey, I'm watching here.
I can't wait to hear. I guess her reaction more than yours because she'd never seen it before.
Yeah,
but that'll be cool. So. So what is this? I feel like they try to set up like Faith might be bad, right? They're like, she's unhinged. She likes beating him up a little too much. Maybe she's I don't know. She's flying a little too close to the sun. I don't really know what they're going for there with her.
I think
were we supposed to think she's bad?
No, I don't think we're supposed to think she's bad. I just think we're supposed to think she's not a careful slayer. Like she is so reckless that it could lead to somebody else getting hurt.
I guess she's new, right? Very new.
Well, I guess, yeah, she was called. I mean, they get called immediately, right? Because Kendra got called in that couple minutes. So she's been a Slayer since May.
Yeah, right. So about 6 months or so.
No, it's October.
June, July,
I guess
August,
5
September,
months.
5 months.
Yeah.
All right, sorry. So we go to the library. And this is where we sort of set up like maybe she's bad, where Giles is like, her Watcher died, right? This is where we learned that.
Right. We find out that she lied about the Watcher going to the retreat.
I feel like that's what they're going for, like that she might be a villain.
Oh, maybe.
That's what I sort of felt like they were like leading to. Maybe I didn't really think that, but I feel like that's what they were setting up. By the way, we learned that the one thing that's not real is leprechauns. So I want to ask you, is there ever a leprechaun episode?
There's not. They stick to this.
Okay. That would have been cool. Either way, it would have been cool. Or if they showed up and she's like, "What? You told me that they didn't exist. What, Giles?" that would have been great too. Either way.
Wow. She would have lost her trust in Giles at that point.
Seriously, that would have been really cool. We could have had like a whole half the season where she doesn't trust him, you know?
Sure.
So we go. Oh, this was cool. We go to a motel, right? Buffy visits Faith in the motel.
Yeah, that's where Faith is staying. This dirtbag motel. We'll see her there a lot.
Okay, and this cool thing with the peephole, which I never really thought of before. We don't see the vampires in the peephole, in the mirror reflection. So I have another question, like. If you take a picture, would you see him in a picture?
No.
Okay.
So, I feel like we do on the show at some point, but like it's stupid. Like technically they shouldn't show up in pictures.
Yeah, I feel like any sort of like
anything that uses a mirror.
Yeah, anything with like a lens type of like where you're having to like reflect light with like light. I don't know how, but that was kind of cool. I never really thought about that. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
and the motel manager in the scene was John Ennis from Mr. Show.
Mm. All right, I didn't notice that. But
He has
did he
like not.
die?
Yeah, he has so little to do. He dies immediately that I almost thought it might have been like a thing where he's a fan of Buffy. Joss Whedon likes Mr. Show. We'll just throw him in there. Cameo. It's like when
Yeah.
Mac from It's Always Sunny showed up on Lost.
All right. So, all right. So I have a question. So basically, they get into a big fight. They end up leaving, right? They leave out, and then they chase him away, and they end up fighting. So can you say his name for me?
Kakistos.
He
Or
dies.
Taquitos, as Buffy calls him.
Taquitos. That was funny. He died, right? They have him like a big steak.
Yeah. He's an old timey vampire, and old timey vampires in the Buffy universe have like characteristics of animals. Like we saw the Master, he's like a bat. He has a bat face.
I miss
But
that dude.
yeah, totally. We'll see him again. But but Kakistos, he's like got cloven hooves and shit. And they try to stake him, and he's too thick. Like the stake doesn't work. You're gonna need a bigger fucking stake than that. And then Faith grabs a fucking giant piece of wood, kills him.
But then Trick, he got away.
Yeah, Trick was working for Kakistos, but he's sort of like beholden to no man, and he's like a survivor. He like saw that this was going wrong, and he was like, "I'm taking off."
Yeah. All right. So he's gonna come back, I assume.
Yeah, we'll see him real soon.
All right. That's cool. So Faith, by the way, at the end of this scene, she's like, man, I'm real hungry. But they didn't bring up anything about being horny, which I thought was weird.
Yeah, they should have shown Buffy and Faith fucking celebration.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I'm sure there's a million fan fictions like that.
Oh, more than 1 million, probably. Probably 4 million. So basically, Faith is going to stay, right? She's going to end up staying there. And Buffy tells Giles that the spell worked on Angel, that basically she had to kill real Angel. And we see Scott in the hallway. I sent you a picture of this, right? Scott and Buffy in the hallway. We see a guy walk by with a soul patch.
Yeah, that's right.
I really like
And
that.
Buffy agrees to go to the Buster Keaton Film Festival with him.
Right, but she has to go do one thing first. And I have a question. Did she know that this was going to bring Angel back?
No.
That's crazy then.
I know.
Yeah, that was like my biggest question from the episode,
She's just
I guess.
sort of trying to exercise her feelings for Angel, but because earlier in the episode, Scott gave her a colada ring as a present,
Right.
and she was like, and she freaked out.
She did have that dream where the ring fell on the ground.
Right.
Maybe she got the idea from that.
And so she tries to like exercise that demon by bringing her colada ring to the mansion where she killed Angel and leaving it there.
It was that museum, right?
It's
Or is it a
it's a mansion. It's
I thought it was that museum where that thing was.
no, it's like that Frank Lloyd Wright house.
Oh, all right. Well, is that the end of the episode? And is it that museum? Oh,
Yeah.
Angel comes back. He's naked.
Yeah, by the way, you get to see a pretty good shot of his little butt crack.
All right.
Yeah.
Way to go, David.
I
Looking
know.
great these days.
He does look.
He is looking great. By the
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'll give it 4 stars. I really enjoyed this episode. I thought just learning all the stuff that Faith, she was just so unfiltered and just like all the stuff she laid down that we didn't know. I really enjoyed.
Yeah. Also, she says she had a female watcher, which we've not seen before.
Right. So that'll be fun.
Yeah.
Or I guess she's dead, right?
Well, yeah, she's dead.
But maybe she'll get a new female watcher though.
Yeah, could be,
I hope
man,
so.
because they're going to assign her a new one. Giles is watching her for a little while, but they say that she's going to get a new watcher. So wait for that. You gave it a 3?
A 4 stars.
A 4.
Yeah, it was a great episode.
I'll give it.
You don't think so?
No, I like it a lot. I'll give it a 4 as well.
All right. I haven't ranked it yet though. I'm thinking. I guess the question is it better than Anne? I really liked Anne.
I prefer this to Anne.
Maybe me too, but I'm not sure how much more I prefer.
It's part of it is like it's just the introduction of Faith, like School Hard. like part of the reason that episode is so good is just because like it's the first time we see Spike. And I kind of feel the same way about this episode.
But that episode works better as a real episode. It's like cool. You're like in the school the whole time. This one, like the villain is Kakistos and Trick, and I didn't even remember if Trick got away.
Well, I like Kakistos and Trick.
I do too. I do too.
I got no beef with
they're
that.
not as cool as when they're in the school.
Well, but Spike gets to be his own villain in that episode.
What's surprise?
That's the first part of Innocence where they fuck at the end.
Is that better than this?
Probably.
I think I'm gonna go right above Anne, right between Surprise and Anne. Put it number 13.
All right, read me mine.
All right, just what from the top down?
Yeah, from like yeah, sure.
From Angel down?
Sure, yeah.
That's 8. Angel, School Hard, Halloween, Bewitched, Bothered, Bewildered, Surprise, Ted, I Only Have Eyes for You, and The Pack. What's my line?
You popped this between I Only Have Eyes for You and Anne.
And so we both have right above Anne.
Yeah,
that's interesting. Yeah, that feels right. Who's your MVP?
Faith.
Yeah, I think you can go Buffy or you can go Faith. And I was impressed by Dushku. I thought everything the character said, like all the different quirks she had, I really like. I'm gonna go Faith also.
By the way, Dushku, Faith is supposed to be from Massachusetts.
Oh,
and Eliza Dushku has a heavy Canadian accent.
Yeah, honestly,
she straight up says a boot twice in this episode.
That's really funny. I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I did.
All right. Did they say she's from Massachusetts?
I don't know that they say that, but it's eventually established.
Wow. All right. Well, yeah, it didn't register with me. Who's your LVP?
LVP. Oh, Hope. I'll go Scott Hope.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
I mean, because, look, the title's Faith, Hope, and Trick. And Faith and Trick, hell
but Buffy
yeah.
likes him, so we should like him.
Well, I do like him. He's fine. But, he's a little bit of a cream puff, if you ask me. I don't know.
What does that mean?
He's so soft. He's so, like, beholden to Buffy. I don't know.
All right, that's fair enough. I think you can go Cordelia in this episode. I think you can go Angel only because I didn't understand what was happening. I didn't know if she knew he would come back or not. Yeah, but you get to
see his tight little butt.
Yeah, you get to see that little butt crack. And then I wrote Kakistos and I wrote Mom and I wrote Oz. What did Oz do, really?
Well, he had a couple good lines.
I just wrote down the people that... I sort of like your pick of Hope.
Yeah.
Scott
He's
Hope.
not enough man for Buffy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a vampire slayer after all.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I agree. It's a good choice. I didn't really think about it too much. I thought he was all right, but everyone else is good this
He's
episode.
fine. I got no beef with him, but...
Snyder's good.
Yeah, Snyder. Everyone's good. All right.
That's good for Mom.
Sure, absolutely. All right, should we go on to the next one?